folks, this is the part of the show where we take news stories from lots of different papers and see how far we can go, right?
Oh, I like that.
Okay, we call it improv. Some people call it the New York Times. White House Press Secretary Ari Fleischer has announced he'll be leaving his post in July. The official reason, of course, is that he's tired, blah, blah, blah. But let's face it, we're just trying not to provoke the Arabs. I mean, Ari Fleischer, why don't we just have a picture of Muhammad up there eating a pork chop, for Christ's sakes, huh? It's a little too Jewish. Anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I really feel bad for it. It's like, how are we going to replace a guy who says whatever he wants to say, the best ever? No, wait. What the hell did I just say? He's the best.
You're the new candidate for the president.
He's the black sellout. Wait a minute. He's the best person that says what he's told to say ever. And we're going to miss him. That makes no sense at all, does it?
Anybody?
It makes sense to me for some weird reason.
It was funny, but it had to follow the first part, and that was the problem.
Damn!
All right, let's talk about this then. Tongue splitting. This is like the new thing. They slit the tongue like that.
Oh, delicious. I like that.
The kids today. Yeah. They say it's more snake-like. What do you guys think? It's kind of hot.
I think Patrice should have it done. That way he can eat quicker.
I think, well, they do a lot of crazy stuff. The tongue piercing was kind of far. Now this is taking it a little bit too extreme. I mean, to me, it looks like Satanism in a crazy kind of way.
I like it. I think, my grandmother, she used to have a plate in her mouth.
Did she?
Yeah.
Back in Ireland?
Back in Ireland. They had actually come from Africa. And that tradition continued, and a lot of the meanies had plates, saucers in their lips, big plates.
As a way of breaking down Iraqi POWs, this is the next story since we're on a roll. U.S. officials are playing Metallica and Barney. Now, come on.
What's the source? Because this sounds like totally ridiculous.
Yeah, like how many torture techniques did they go through before they figured out Barney was the way to go? Hopefully that was, before the testicle clamps.
Right. But after, Peter Cetera and,
Well, the Metallica, I mean, that's actually a good thing. The safest place to be during a terrorist attack would probably be at a Metallica concert.
That's right.
They're not going to come anywhere near that.
Well, the safest place is to be in Harlem, because y'all think the terrorists is looking for us. They looking for y'all asses.
Oh, you guys want to jump ship, huh? All right. A new study shows, you want to jump ship? A new study shows that 1 in 5 girls under 15 years old has had sex, and 1 in 7 has been pregnant. Wow. That's pretty sick.
Who those 4 blocks? What do you got?
I think the Spice Girls started it. Those English hookers turned out our 10-year-olds with their stupid lunchboxes. The lunchbox campaign is what happened.
But that's biological. If you can have a baby at 13 or 14, that's real. I mean, I'm an older father, so I want to be a grandfather earlier.
Yeah, I'll see what you do to get started.
He's going to be opening up on the R. Kelly tour.
No, I just had a baby, and thank God, because I had frozen my sperm years ago. And not that I want to get into that, but I did.
The number of fall television shows starring minorities has never been higher. Whoopi Goldberg is the first black lead on a sitcom, NBC, in 5 years. What do we say about this?
I thought there's always been blacks. I mean, the WB, there's more blacks in the WB than on Thomas Jefferson's plantation, for Christ's sake.
I love that sitcom, Julia. That was good. That was a good show.
We had Jim David on here one time, and that's still the oldest thing I've ever heard on the show.
It really is.
Jeez, I'm the only one that remembers that.
Julia.
These people I'm 90. These people are 20.
Wasn't there a black show that followed Uncle Buck?
That was Kevin's canceled show. Uncle Buck.
It's like 10-year-olds and
But I think they appreciated the meanness of the spirit of that one.
No, I love it.
He's attacking Uncle Buck.
No, and WB doesn't even have black shows on.
No, it doesn't.
No, you know what? The trend was they would all build their stations up on the black shows, and then they get rid of us, and they all go on UPN.
Yes.
You guys are living in a damn dream world.
No, we're not. That's what they did.
They built it on Fresh Prince, Cosby, the WB had something.
I guess it really must be.
That's what they did.
I guess it must be amazing to live in this kind of world where everything we do is evil and everything you do is good.
Why do you always say we, Colin? You're white. You're not white. You're not the white man. You're a potato eating.
No, he's.
cabbage boiling nothing. You're poor like us.
He's Eminem, man.
The average, he's Eminem.
You're the blacks of Europe.
Are you really black?
blacks of Europe?
The blacks of Europe.
We have to get off this thing. The average American watches 135,000 commercials a year. You don't want to fall behind, do you? So I don't know why I did an Italian accent. We'll be right back. Well, you know what? When Iraq fell, hundreds of ancient treasures were stolen from the Museum of Antiquities in Baghdad. Yes, I don't know what that is either. All right, leave me alone. The plundering of one of the world's greatest collection of artifacts is a terrible tragedy. But luckily, there's some good news. Several newer pieces of art were saved, pictures that were kept by Saddam Hussein in his own private quarters. Here are those pictures. These are the real replicas of art found in Saddam's safe houses. Tonight we'll look a little deeper into these pieces from the Saddam collection, and here to help me is an art consultant and my neighbor, yes, and she knows Steve too, Avis Cardella. Avis, thank you. Hi Avis, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Okay, this first piece is a lovely oil on canvas. First of all, I'm interested in that. Is that like a postage U.S. mail thing up there? What is that?
I don't know what that is, but I can speak to the other
Elements.
the other elements of this painting. I'll tell you, it's not Picasso, but it's an example of something that is called fantasy art, and it's used on album covers and book covers and things like that, and it tends to be popular with adolescent boys.
Adolescent boys, so you're saying Saddam might be an Arrested Development.
That's a possibility, yeah.
It's interesting, too, because Saddam, he had a lot of problems with his family, and this looks like, to me, I wouldn't say a castration complex, but that damn, whatever it is trying to bite him right there, isn't he?
I don't see that, but
Okay, let's move on then. Apparently, this is our next item. It's a marvelous little piece of work. Obviously very cleverly disguised, brilliant. Now, this is not Picasso either, is it?
No, this isn't.
I don't want to make a mistake,
But this has interesting aspects of what is referred to when people buy these paintings. They usually like to relate to them as role-playing. I don't know if Saddam relates to the Fabio character, to the buxom babe, or to the Shrek guy in the back, but whatever moves you.
Well, let me ask you something. He's the sword trying to slay the snake or the dragon to get the hot girl, and the evil. Isn't that kind of a hack thing? Like, isn't that everybody could do that from like 100 years ago? It's kind of an old move, isn't it?
You mean
the whole idea of slaying this?
Well, yeah, it's an old fantasy. I mean, Freud would have a field day with this, but
yeah.
But
I'll tell you why it's a good artist, because they got the shadows. I always forget those.
Yeah.
Now let me just ask you. This is totally off the cuff, Avis.
Yeah.
If you were at an art gallery show, you saw a guy like me, but what? Well, if I had my glasses, you saw me, maybe I'm just standing here looking like this in the picture. Would you be attracted to me and say, oh, that guy's kind of cool? Just pretend you don't know me.
With the thumb in the mouth?
All right, no. Can I just walk away like deeply affected, thinking about it?
Okay.
Okay, how about this little thing, huh?
Yeah, this is another one where we might examine the role-playing aspect. I think the militaristic garb of the woman, I wonder perhaps if that isn't sort of like a way to transcend one's own sexuality. And
talking about me?
No.
Oh, Saddam, sorry. I get nervous.
I'm talking about the owner of the painting.
Yes.
What he might feel.
Oh, the owner.
Yeah.
And what about the snow? It doesn't snow in Iraq, does it?
No, I don't think so.
No, I didn't think so either. What do you think this is? Do you think this is like the subconscious of Saddam? Or do you think this is his mother when he was little? You never know, folks. You never know. Thanks to Avis Cardella. Thank you to Avis Cardella. These pictures are going to do inside. Thank you, darling. No, that was good.